Hey everybody, Jason here, and I'm back. Today we're going to go ahead and do an unboxing and review of the Kraton 6S BLX, which is put out by ARRMA. Our friends over there at Hobbyco got in touch with me and they said, hey look, we know you do race videos, but would you be interested in doing a review on the Kraton? And I said sure, so they shipped it over to me. Now, I'll have to tell you guys straight up, I consider myself a racer first and foremost, but I love going out and doing some bashing. I actually have a Nitro Revo that I've used for years and have had a blast with, but to be completely honest with you guys, it can be a little frustrating keeping a nitro engine running. They're a little messy. Sometimes they can be a little bit tricky to tune when the weather changes. And overall, I generally prefer electric when it comes to just having good old-fashioned fun. And there's nothing like having 6S horsepower to make that happen. When it comes to nitro, it's a little finicky. But when it comes to electric, you just plug in the batteries, grip it and rip it. So let's get this thing out of the box, onto the dirt, so we can have some fun. Okay, this thing is pretty much a beast of a box, so let's go ahead and flip this thing over and see what it has for seals. Looks like it's got a seal in the front and on the back over here, so we'll bust out the good old-fashioned Swiss Army knife for now. Nothing on the edges, so flip this back over so you guys can see first exactly what we get. Boom, there it is, the Kraton. This looks like it's packaged pretty well, actually. Looks like there's some instructions. Looks like battery hold downs, a pinion, wheel wrench, all that kind of stuff. So we'll set that out of the way for now. Let's see if we can get all this stuff out. This is probably, my guess is that this is the actual radio itself. I'm not sure, but we're about to find out, I guess. And it is. This is the radio. So looks like it's just really not much to it. It's actually a really pretty basic radio. It looks like it's got some servo reversing features and stuff like that. Of course, you've got your throttle and brake and steering trim, throttle trim, and it looks like there's even a dual rate so that you can kind of tame it down. And then a couple of buttons here. So that's the radio. Looks like this whole thing's going to come out at once if I had to guess. Let's see what we got here. Just try this out. Oh, nice. All right. So we'll just put the box down here. Here's the truck itself. Boom, that's it. Not much to it. I kind of was thinking there was going to be some heavy duty zip ties and stuff like that, but that's it. It's really just that simple. So let's go ahead and I'll put the tools away so they're not driving us nuts. All right, so this is the Kraton 6S BLX monster. It's like a monster truggy. Let's go ahead and pull the body off real quick. It's got the looks like it's got some nice little rubber straps to retain the body clips, which is nice so you don't lose them. And man, this is it. Looks like it's kind of a pillow ball type front suspension. This got a big bright red steering servo that says that it's waterproof. Of course, brushless motor and speed control. Red anodized mount. I mean, this thing really feels, I'll tell you right now, it feels a lot like kind of a race truggy, more so than a monster truck, but really nice aluminum front shocks and stuff like that. It feels pretty good. Not a super big fan of these kind of like EC, these connectors, but I guess when you're running tons of voltage and amperage through one of these things, you need something to conduct some serious current. But that's it. That's what you get when you unbox the new ARRMA Kraton 6S BLX. Okay, we're out in the garage. I've got the Kraton right here. I've got two Onyx 5000 milliamp 3S lipos. Let's get these things in the truck. Let's get it out, shake it down out in the street, and then we'll take it to someplace fun and tear this thing up. Let's go. Okay, let's go ahead and get the batteries in this baby. Take the body off. And you can see there's the connector for the batteries and stuff. There's a couple little plastic hold downs for the batteries, depending on the types of batteries that you're using. I had actually put these in here earlier, and I just don't remember exactly how I had them in here, so let's just take a quick peek. Looks like, I think I had this one up like this, maybe. That fits pretty decent. Let's put them both like that, I think. They should be safe that way. So we'll put them both in here. Oh, and then these got to go under here. There, nice and tight. Try to make sure your Velcro doesn't touch your drive shaft and that kind of stuff. Get this one in here. It's a little snug because the roll cage is in the way. Let's see what we got here. There we go, nice. All right, we're strapped in pretty solid. Okay, let's plug these bad boys in real quick. And then I think there's actually a hold down, like an area for holding the batteries. But I'm just going to put them up here and slap a quick zip tie on them just to make my life a little bit easier. Just so that I know everything's safely out of the way. And then later on as we run it more, I'll kind of figure out the details of how I really want to keep it. So for now, this will get us started. Everything is safely out of the way. It's not going to hit the drivetrain or anything like that. Then we'll go ahead and just snip this off. All right, body on. It's time to take this baby out and shake it down. All right, the battery's plugged in, radio's on. This is it. Let's take it for a ride. Holy crap, this has got some power. This thing is a beast. We got to get this thing over to the riverbed right now. All right, to the riverbed. Hey, what's your name?
Vinny.
How old are you?
9.
What are we getting ready to run?
The Kraton.
Is this thing pretty sweet?
Yeah.
All right, send it. What are you doing over there? Go fix it. What's your name?
Nate.
How old are you?
14.
And what are we driving?
Kraton.
All right, try not to destroy it. State your name,
Alyssa.
your age,
Old.
and what are we driving?
Kraton.
All right, send it. Wow. You are a savage. Now that you just smashed it into a sheer cliff at full throttle, what are we doing this time?
Not that.
Okay, so we got this thing out of the box. We strapped some batteries into it. We gave it a quick shakedown in front of my house to make sure that nothing was defective, that everything was working, and then we took it over to the riverbed. Now, my 2 nephews and my sister were actually here in California on vacation visiting me and my wife, and so we all together, we went over to the riverbed, and we had a blast driving this thing. As you could see, my 9-year-old nephew Vinny, my 14-year-old nephew Nathan, we just beat this thing to death. My wife, like a full-on savage, drove this thing full punch into a sand cliff and just launched this thing. Overall, we had a really great time, and the way that we brought it back from the riverbed is exactly what you see. I did hit it with the air hose just to knock some of the dust off of it. But I won't bore you guys to death. I just want to share my kind of like my final thoughts with you. Basically, to complete this whole package, the radio itself uses 4 AA batteries. The truck itself needs 2 batteries. I chose 2 5000 3S LiPos, and of course you'll need a charger. Now, if you're going to choose a charger, just make sure that you choose a charger that can charge at least 5 or 6 amps, and maybe even one that has 2 ports so that it can do both batteries at once. Otherwise, you could run this thing for 20 or 30 minutes and then you find yourself waiting for, a couple of hours before you can get back out. When it comes to handling, I thought the truck actually handled really good. It had a lot of steering, had a tremendous amount of horsepower, which we'll get into in the likes and dislikes section. It jumped and landed pretty well. It's a little bit softer, like the suspension is a little bit softer than you might run in an actual race vehicle, but it all works out pretty well when you're going through bumps really quickly. One thing I'd say be careful of, the radio itself, when you actually hit the brakes are a little bit aggressive. I would actually turn the braking strength down just a little bit. If you want to do tricks and stuff like that, then smashing the brakes will cause the truck to almost do a complete front flip. But if you just want to level the truck in the air just to make sure that you can get that real nice landing, you might want to turn the brakes down. But overall, I thought it jumped well, landed well. The steering was good, but I will tell you that the steering servo that comes with the kit, they claim it's right around 200 inches of torque, 200 ounces of torque. And that's a little bit short. Some of the other monster trucks like the Revos and stuff like that will actually use dual steering servos, because when you're actually out on the cement, it's really not a big deal. The truck handles and responds really quickly and it's really nimble. But when you actually get into some of the deeper sand, you can actually see, especially when the truck is standing still, when it's not moving and you turn the wheel, you can really see that servo kind of laboring to get those wheels to turn with the extra resistance present from the sand and stuff like that. So I think if I were going to upgrade anything on this truck right off the rip, I'd probably splurge and get a servo that had just a little bit more torque, maybe 300 ounces of torque or something like that. But anyways, durability, I am literally blown away. This is really kind of a race style platform, and I really expected to just break this thing early on. But to my surprise, we just kept beating on it and beating on it and beating on it, and it didn't break. Now, damage report. We did kind of damage something. We actually pulled, when I say damage, the truck never stopped running, but we did pull some of the ball studs or the pillow balls out of the arm just a little bit. Either that or the spacers fell out. I don't know which, but either way, it never stopped us from running. So I'm actually blown away at how durable this really is. There's no doubt, with ARRMA being one of the brands that is carried by Hobbyco and Great Plains, that support for this, if it's not awesome in your local region now, my guess is that the support will get better over time, or you could always buy your stuff directly from Tower Hobbies and stuff like that. So durability, I thought, was pretty good. Parts availability should be very good. I haven't had to order parts, so I can't speak from firsthand experience. But that's kind of the gist of it. So basically, we've got this thing out of the box, put the batteries in it, ran it a little bit. We've talked a little bit about what you needed to complete it, a little bit about the performance and handling. Okay, now let's talk a little bit about my likes and dislikes. One of the things I really liked about this truck was the power. There's nothing less fun than driving an underpowered monster truck, and that is absolutely not the case. So the motor and speed control that were chosen for this platform, right on. It's a great amount of power. It's not actually completely overwhelming, even with high voltage, the way I ran it, but it just really felt really well. The durability, I was actually really surprised with the durability on the platform. I just didn't expect it being with it looking like a race type of geometry, like a race vehicle. I expected it to be far less durable than it actually was. And value, at $500, it's truly one of the opportunities to get into the brushless monster truck market without spending $1,000. If you were going to go buy an e-Revo, basically Traxxas's competitor to this vehicle, you'd be talking somewhere in the neighborhood of $649 to $679 before buying batteries and stuff like that. And so at $500, it's really a good value. So those are my likes. Now my dislikes. The radio, it's a little bit, I guess I use the word chintzy. Like, it's not as high end as you might expect for a $500 monster truck, number one. And number two, this thing is 6S powered, advertised to do 60 miles an hour, and it's probably about 9 pounds. So you're guiding a 9-pound, 60 mile an hour bullet with a, a medium radio, right? So anyways, it has all the features that you need to kind of control and accurately tune the vehicle and drive it well, but it just doesn't feel high end. My second gripe we've already touched on, it's the servo. It's only got about 200 ounces of torque, and while that works great on concrete and really smooth, low friction surfaces, if you get out into deep sand or snow or something like that, it just doesn't have as much grunt to get those wheels turned as I would like. And last but not least is the manual itself. Now, when you buy this, you buy one vehicle, but you get a manual that actually services 4 different platforms, and they've written it in a whole bunch of different languages. And while all the important information is pretty much here, you kind of got to be careful and dig through it, and it's a little bit overwhelming. So those are really my 3 gripes. It'd be nice if the radio was a little bit higher end, a little bit better servo, and come on, man, we bought one vehicle. Can we get the manual? Can we get a manual that just services one vehicle and maybe one language? That'd be awesome. So anyways, they're not super huge gripes, but those are my complaints, and that's that. Let's get on with the conclusion. Okay, so long story short, I'm pretty impressed. It's not as high end as a race vehicle, but keep in mind a race truggy is $650 or $550 for a roller. That's before tires and wheels and servos and all that kind of stuff. It's got aluminum shock bodies. It's got a nice little durable roll cage inside here that actually protects everything. It's got a speed control and motor that create plenty of horsepower. I think it's a good basher vehicle. It really is. I'm surprised at the durability this thing offers. My only real reservation for anybody that wants to go out and buy one of these is just parts support. Do your local hobby shops carry parts for it? And if they don't, I would maybe do some Googling, check YouTube and some of the forums, and find out what some of the parts are that actually do break when the vehicle breaks. Order a few spares online from Tower Hobbies or whoever the online retailers are that carry this thing, and I think you'll be in good shape. So hope you guys enjoyed watching this review just as much as I enjoyed making it for you guys, and we will see you in the next one. Bye-bye. I just want to say thanks again for watching my videos. I appreciate you guys watching. If you enjoyed this video, you'd be doing me a huge favor if you could either like, comment, or even better, subscribe. I post a lot of stuff on social media like Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, stuff like that. So if you want to catch up with me, I'll post this stuff up for you, and you can come on over, add me as a friend, follow me on Instagram, and you'll be able to see things that just don't make it to YouTube. Again, thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one.